Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Equinox, well, at least her day form, because I have a lot of people ask me, hey Flynn, how do you get a bunch of kills as Equinox? Because to me, she just kind of seems like a support frame, and at first glance, you would kind of be right in saying that, except her Maim ability is so diverse in the amount of different ways that you can mod it, that it makes Equinox one of those really insane frames that you can play like a multitude of different ways. You have the duality build, you have the sleep build, you have the Maim build, and there's just so many different ways to build all of these builds that it makes Equinox, at least in my opinion, one of the most diverse and one of the best frames in the game for build variety and usefulness, because she can be a healer, she can be a damage dealer, and she can have some quirky little uses, like I mentioned, the duality build, which basically spawns like a mini you that goes and fights for you as well, which is pretty awesome. But today I'm basically going to be showing you how to use her Maim build, which is the building up a lot of damage to basically turn yourself into a nuke, because the build that I use most often in the likes of relic farming, elite sanctuary onslaught, and stuff like that. So it's basically just a damage dealing build, but you wouldn't build it with a lot of power strength in mind, which is very I guess to a lot of people counterproductive, right? Because you don't really think, oh, I'm going to be a damage frame that barely has any power strength on. So yeah, but you can throw on power strength, of course, if you want to get like more damage on your initial slash procs and stuff like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at Equinox. So basically, this is the frame that has two forms. You have the day form, you have the night form. It's kind of like yin and yang inspired. So the day form is your damage dealing, and then your night form is your healing slash support. So your healing slash support has a sleep ability, which puts enemies to sleep, a damage reduction ability, which makes it so that you and your team have damage reduction, and then a healing ability on your 4. The day form has a kind of like a damage buff, so you're going to deal more damage versus enemies affected by that ability. Then it has a power strength buff, and then it also has a damage dealing ability on the 4 as well, which basically makes the enemies bleed, right? So if they are within your power range, they're going to start bleeding, and then all the damage that you store up, you're going to be able to re-release that into all the enemies that are near you, which is very, very powerful. Because, like, let's say, for example, you store up 1,000,000 damage and a new wave of enemies spawn, and you have max power strength, you can basically wipe an entire wave of enemies with one press of a button. It makes her a very, very powerful frame. Now, the build that I'm using right now is a Umbral build, so let's just go ahead and take a look at that. I put this together today. You'll notice that there's no flow on there, but that's because I feel that I can play Equinox very actively, use Energizing Dash to get my energy back and stuff like that. Also, like having an EV Trin, if you have an EV Trin, you can completely change this build up, throw on more power strength if you like, and have a load of range. But the important mods, at least in my opinion, are Streamline, Fleeting, and Prime Continuity. Okay, so those are the first mods that you want to be paying attention to. Those are the first mods that you want to be putting on, because these mods are going to give you 0.88 drain on your 4. So it's an active ability. You turn it on, and then it just passively drains your energy, as you can see down here in the bottom right. So it's energy per second, 0.88 per second. Now, this is going to allow you to keep your Maim on for as long as possible and store up as much damage as you like, and you're basically not going to be running out of energy if you're playing this frame actively. So that's what DE like to promote in their DPS frames, at least. It's active gameplay first and then passive gameplay second. So, of course, you can be passive with this build. You can turn it on, and then you can kill all the enemies that spawn if they're in low enough level, right? If you go to Io and Jupiter, you can literally stand in the middle of the map, turn on your Maim, and everything's going to die around you. Like, I can show you that. I can show you guys a demonstration of that, and they'll literally all die. But if you want to be playing Equinox to her fullest potential, which she is confirmed a girl, by the way, because they did say it on a dev stream one time. Not too sure which one, but they did say it. I just had to get that out there, because I know that there's going to be a comment that's like, well, the day form kind of looks like a guy. I'm like, I don't care. But, you know, that's besides the point. Yeah, I forgot what I was talking about now. But yeah, turning Maim on, you keep it on, you store up all the damage. You know, you're going to be playing Equinox to her fullest potential if you build up all that damage and then re-release it, because you're just going to be dealing more damage overall, right? So, that being said, yeah, let's take a look at the build again. So, Prime Continuity, Fleeting, and Streamline is going to give you that very low drain. And then next up is your Power Range. So Stretch and Overextend it is enough. You can maybe swap out Power Drift for Cunning Drift if you like, but I just like having that extra little bit of damage on there. So then my initial slash procs deal a little bit more damage, so I can use her in that lower level content more effectively, I guess, because that's the type of content that I'm playing on a daily basis, right? So this build is very much so designed around my needs and wants for Equinox. So keep that in mind when you're watching any build video. This is just what I personally use. So Power Drift, Augur Secrets, and then Umbral Intensify, which is giving me a little bit of power strength, so then my initial slash procs on the enemies deal a little bit more damage, and they're more likely to be one shot by that initial slash proc if they're very low level. Umbral Vitality on here, obviously they give me more health and boost up the effectiveness of my Intensify and my Vitality. And yeah, so other than that, that's pretty much it. Range, you don't really need strength that much because you are going to be actively playing, right? So you can completely neglect strength from this build if you choose to, and then you're still going to be able to get those damage dealing effects off. So I have Cruise Projection on here because, yeah, Cruise Projection strips away enemy armor, 30% of it at least if you're not playing with a group. So, you know, it just makes enemies easier to kill, which is, in my opinion, ideal. So let me just go ahead and check to make sure that I have a Zeneric on, because I'm going to need that. And we're going to be jumping into Elite Sanctuary Onslaught to kind of show you guys how to play with this main build, because, like I said, there's multiple different ways to play Equinox. There is her sleeping build. There is her metamorphosis build. I forget what it's called. Duality, that's what it's called. So yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to play. There's a bunch of different ways to build. So take this video with the biggest grain of salt. This is basically just how I play Equinox, and you don't have to play like I do at all. So I guess first we'll jump into Io and Jupiter, and I'll show you guys basically killing all of the guys extremely fast, like just by standing still. You can literally stand in the middle of the map, go to wave 10, and then reset, and then you're still going to be one-shotting enemies. This, for context, is where I like to farm my, my what's it called? My, the name escapes me right now, my Meso Relics? Yeah, Meso Relics. So this is where I go to farm my Meso Relics. I do 10 waves, I extract, I come back in, and I'm basically just using Equinox. So I'm going to go ahead, get my energy, and it's going to go all the way up. Let's just go ahead and hit a pad. And we're going to stand on this spot right here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to increase my power strength by pressing my 3. 27% extra power strength, which is awesome. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit my 4. And you're going to see all these guys basically just bleed to death because of my 4 being so strong. So once they walk on to this little watery floor right here, they're basically dead. So like I said, if you want a little bit more range, then go ahead and replace Power Drift for Cunning Drift. But because I'm going to be using this in the legs of Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, and it's still like one-shotting the guys who are running towards me here, and it's killing them very effectively, then I opted for the extra power strength. But if you want to cover those spawns and just stay still here, then that's totally fine as well. But yeah, this is a very broken low-level killer build, especially on this tile set. So these 5 waves are going to go by very, very quickly, and there's only going to be a few enemies, I think, going up into wave 10, like the likes of Nullifiers or something, that are going to survive and get free. And for that, I recommend bringing like a high fire rate pistol, like the Cyanoid Gamma Core, Aximati, Axtilettos, Pandero with its alt fire, stuff like that. And that's going to allow you to get through those Nullifier bubbles very fast, so then you can continue just going around and killing things and building up all your stuff. So you're going to notice in the top right hand corner, beside my power strength buff to the left of it, we're now sitting at 30k extra damage, right? So we're going to go in the wave 10, I guess, and then what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to re-release that. Actually, you don't have to go in the wave 10 because we have a nullifier right here. Let's see. So, okay, we can do it on the Oxy and Osprey and the Versus. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand near them, and then we're going to press 4, and then all that damage that we stored up is going to be re-released. So you see, it took a little bit from that guy, it took a little bit from that guy, and it completely killed the Osprey. So these guys have a decent amount of health, so that's why they didn't die. And I am stunned right now, which is very good. But we're just going to go ahead and spread them down like so, and then move on to Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. And I'll show you how to more effectively build up all of that damage using the likes of a Zaw or a primary weapon or whatever. So I'm using the Tigris Prime because it's one of the most damaging primary weapons in the game. And then I'm also using my own custom-made Zaw. Okay, so the custom-made Zaw is basically, it's spin the win. You know, if you're sick of that playstyle, then just use Condition Overload. I don't really care. Whatever your preferred melee playstyle is, it's, you know, Melee is super damaging either way that you play it, so just play it whatever your preferred way is, and you're still going to be able to do the exact same thing. But because I get the high numbers on my Slide Crit build, that's basically what I'm doing. If you want to copy this build, go ahead and replace the Riven with Prime Reach or Regular Reach if you don't have the Prime version, and then again, replace Prime Fever Strike with Regular, and replace Prime Pressure Point with Regular, so on and so forth. And then the parts for this, if we go ahead, back out and look at the Za again, we have the Aquana 2Jai, the Stung, and the Play Crit Buff. So if you don't have to play Crit Buff, replace that with the Mi-1 Strike, and then you're pretty much good to go. You more or less have the exact same thing, just minus the viral damage that you get on this, which is a significant hit to your damage, but, you know, you're still getting yourself like a very, very good Za from that, right? So if we go ahead and we jump into the likes of Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. Now, Elite Sanctuary Onslaught is a little bit difficult because usually you'd have 4 people in there and the enemies are quite high level the longer you go into it. But I'm basically just doing this to demonstrate how an active Equinox player kind of looks like, because playing Equinox actively rather than passively is a lot better because you're dealing all that damage, you're storing all of it up, and then whenever a new wave spawns in, you can basically just nuke that entire wave with one press of a button. So if you're going into this to do like an endurance run in ESO, you want to be bringing 4 times cruiser projection. That goes without saying. But yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into the portal. And what you're going to notice is I'm going to stick to my Tigris, but I'm going to hit my 3, and I'm going to hit my 4. Keep your Tigris out, and then just go ahead and spin the wind free all the enemies. Now you see that we've built up 205k damage already. We go over near this grip, we press 4, and they're all dead. You know, so you're basically just going through, killing all the guys, and then re-releasing it whenever you can. So in ESO, if you use an ability too much, it gets like toggled off by Samaras here, which is kind of annoying. But look, everything has very low health there. I didn't build up enough damage, but because these guys have a lot of armor, they have like a lot more effective health. So the lead procs do go for their armor, but whenever you're dealing that base damage to them, whenever you use your 4 again, it's a little bit more difficult to kind of just like straight up one-shot them. So you want to be doing like, or you want to be storing up like a decent amount of damage. So go ahead, hit your 4, and then just go around and kill all the mans like so. And then you see that damage number just being increased with every single kill that you get with your Slide Crit or with your Tigris or whatever. And then you re-release and everything's dead. So yeah, really insanely powerful frame. I love... Sorry, my throat is dead. It's dead. But yeah, I love her. She's an awesome frame, and I recommend picking her up. Like, I don't know, you get to kill everything extremely fast, which is great. Boom. Well, maybe not so boom, but you get what I mean. These guys are like level 60. I'm not used to playing against them. I'm sad now, but yeah, let's just go ahead, go back into the ship. You guys kind of get the point. You go in, you press 3, you press 4, you kill all of the guys, and yeah, you press 4 again, and all the guys are dead. At lower levels, you're gonna do a lot better, but you know, that's how you do it. And you're gonna be playing extremely actively in the likes of Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. And you're going to be like storing up to at least like 250k damage if you're paying attention. So yeah, other than that, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to go ahead and edit this and render this because the dev stream is in 15 minutes. So yeah, I want to get that done. Sorry for the little voice hiccup halfway through that. Not super professional, but that's what happens whenever you talk a lot and don't drink water. But yeah, Equinox, extremely powerful frame. I'm probably going to do more than one how to play video with her because there's a lot more ways to play her, but the main build is just personally one of my favorites because you can literally make everything die. So, yeah. Equinox. Please no nerf. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead, hit that like button below. If you want to see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.